Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In once rocked the world with its bold satire, explosive laughter, and dazzling stars, leaving a lasting mark in viewers' memories with its unforgettable crazy moments. But 58 years later, behind all that glitter, there are shocking secrets, dramatic scandals, and the surprising fates of the stars you never knew. In this video, we will uncover their true identities and the sensational stories they've kept hidden all these years. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss out. Let's dive in. Dan Rowan as co-host. Daniel Hale Rowan, born on July 22, 1922, was an American actor and comedian, best known for co-hosting Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In 1967 to 1973. When he joined the show in 1967 at the age of 45, he and Dick Martin created a famous comedic duo that brought laughter and Emmy awards to the program. But few know that behind his brilliant career, Rowan's life was full of tragedy and turbulence. Orphaned at a young age, he grew up in loneliness and hardship. After serving in World War II, where he was severely wounded in an air battle, Rowan turned to entertainment but struggled for many years. His personal life was equally tumultuous. 2 failed marriages and a 3rd marriage to model Joanna Young that lasted until his death. Both his career and personal life were severely impacted by illness. He had type 1 diabetes and relied on insulin, followed by lymphoma, which ultimately claimed his life in 1987 at the age of 65. From a talented artist on screen, his life ended in solitude and pain, surprising and saddening many. Lily Tomlin as Ernestine. Lily Tomlin, born on September 1, 1939, is an American actress, comedian, and producer, best known for her role in Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In 1969 to 1973, when she was only 30. In the show, she portrayed hilarious and unique characters like Ernestine, a tough telephone operator, and Edith Ann, a wise, beyond-her-years 5-year-old with innocent philosophical insights. Both roles helped her win the hearts of audiences and became synonymous with her name. Lily Tomlin's life has been full of shocks. Though she started her career with stand-up comedy and won prestigious awards like 7 Emmys, 1 Grammy, and 2 Tonys, her milestones were tied to pain and a turbulent personal life. She met and married writer Jane Wagner in 2013 after 42 years together, but throughout her career, Lily kept her love life private, leaving the media to guess about her personal life. Along with her success on stage and screen, Tomlin has faced harsh challenges in the entertainment industry. Her collaborations with big stars like Jane Fonda in 9 to 5 and Grace and Frankie brought her nominations and prestigious awards. However, throughout her career, Tomlin often faced pressure and controversy, especially when she voiced Ms. Frizzle in the animated series The Magic School Bus and participated in socially conscious comedies. Lily Tomlin, now 86 years old, continues to act, voice characters for projects, and appear on TV shows. She recently appeared in 80 for Brady, 2023, alongside Jane Fonda, and Grace and Frankie, 2015 to 2022, remains a major milestone in her career. Dick Martin as co-host. Dick Martin, whose full name was Thomas Richard Martin, was born on January 30, 1922. He was an American comedian and director, best known for co-hosting the famous comedy series Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In from 1968 to 1973. He joined the show in 1967 at the age of 45, playing the humorous partner alongside Dan Rowan in a crazy sea filled with social and political satire that shocked audiences at the time. The success on television couldn't hide the turmoil in Dick Martin's real life. He suffered from severe tuberculosis as a young man, which caused him to lose a lung and prevented him from joining the military. In the early years of his career, Martin worked as a writer for radio stations before pairing up with Dan Rowan to perform in nightclubs. After some unsuccessful film roles, they unexpectedly shot to fame with Laugh-In, making them iconic figures in American comedy. However, Martin's personal life was filled with ups and downs. He went through 2 marriages, one of which was to Playboy model Dolly Redd, a marriage that ended but was rekindled in 1978 and lasted until his death. He had a son, director Richard Martin, from an extramarital affair who grew up in Canada. In his later years, Martin struggled with serious respiratory problems as a result of his tuberculosis. Dick Martin passed away on May 24, 2008, at the age of 86, from respiratory complications in Santa Monica, California. Despite losing a lung, he continued to be active in the entertainment industry for decades, leaving behind a legacy as one of the most memorable comedic faces in 20th century American television. Goldie Hawn as regular performer. Goldie Hawn, born on November 21, 1945, is an American actress, producer, singer, and dancer who first gained fame at the age of 23 as a regular performer on the iconic comedy show Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In, 1968 to 1970. With her ditzy blonde look and distinctive giggle, Goldie quickly became a cultural icon of the 1960s and the most beloved face of the show. Right after Laugh-In, Hawn rose to A-list Hollywood stardom. Her role in Cactus Flower, 1969, earned her an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress. She went on to star in hit comedies such as Private Benjamin, 1980, Overboard, 1987, Death Becomes Her, 1992, The First Wives Club, 1996, and more recently, The Christmas Chronicles, 2018-2020. However, behind that bright smile was a life full of challenges and difficult choices. Goldie went through 2 failed marriages, one of which was to musician Bill Hudson, the father of her famous children, Oliver Hudson and Kate Hudson. After their divorce in 1982, Goldie was linked to several rumored romances, including one with Imran Khan, the former Prime Minister of Pakistan. But the most enduring and publicized relationship was with actor Kurt Russell. Although they have been together since 1983, they have never married. Goldie once said, "If I had married Kurt, I probably would have divorced him by now." Not only successful in film, Goldie has also been active in social work. In 2003, she founded the Hawn Foundation, which develops emotional intelligence education programs for children called Mind Up. As of 2025, Goldie Hawn is 80 years old and still alive. She currently lives with Kurt Russell and continues to appear in some film projects, most recently in the Christmas Chronicles series on Netflix. She remains active in social causes through her foundation, praised not only as a movie star but also as an inspiration to younger generations. Arte Johnson as Wolfgang. Arte Johnson, born on January 20, 1929, was an American actor and comedian, famous for playing Wolfgang on the popular comedy show Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In from 1968 to 1973. He joined the show at the age of 38, creating a memorable character as a German soldier named Wolfgang, who would sneak behind trees and frequently utter his catchphrase, "Very interesting," after every joke. Before achieving great success with Laugh-In, Arte Johnson appeared in many films and television shows, with guest roles in series such as The Twilight Zone, Bewitched, McHale's Navy, and several others. He also made a mark in notable comedies and TV shows like The President's Analyst, 1967, and Love at First Bite, 1979. In addition to his famous comedic roles, Johnson was a guest judge on game shows like The Gong Show and lent his voice to several animated characters, particularly in shows like The 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo, 1985, and Justice League Unlimited, 2005. In his personal life, Johnson was married to Gisela and had previously been married to choreographer Texie Waterman. He overcame non-Hodgkin's lymphoma in 1997 and continued to live healthily until he was diagnosed with bladder and prostate cancer, which led to his death on July 3, 2019, at the age of 90. His ashes were scattered off the coast of Hawaii, and he left behind his wife Gisela and cherished memories in the hearts of his fans. Ruth Buzzy as Gladys Ormsby. Ruth Buzzy, born on July 24, 1936, is an American actress and comedian, best known for her role as Gladys Ormsby on the sketch comedy show Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In from 1968 to 1973. She joined the show at the age of 31, and with the character of Gladys, she made an unforgettable impact on audiences. She won a Golden Globe and was nominated for 5 Emmy Awards for her contributions to the show. Thanks to this character, she became a pop culture icon of the time, so beloved that both she and her co-star Arte Johnson were turned into animated characters in baggy pants and the Nitwits. In addition to her success on Laugh-In, Buzzy appeared in many other popular television shows, such as Alice, 1981, The Flip Wilson Show, and The Gong Show. She also voiced characters like Mama Bear in The Berenstain Bears and Nose Marie in Pound Puppies. Buzzy is an active philanthropist, particularly involved in organizations supporting children and animals. She is also an avid car collector and, along with her husband, actor Kent Perkins, owns a notable collection of cars. In 2012, she was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease and faced strokes in 2022. Ruth Buzzy passed away on May 1, 2025, at the age of 88 due to complications from Alzheimer's at a nursing home in Stephenville, Texas. Gary Owens as announcer. Gary Owens, born on May 10, 1934, was a golden voice of America. He joined Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In 1968 at the age of 34 and became the announcer with his signature deadpan delivery, holding one hand to his ear like an antenna. His life was full of shocking contradictions. A man who lived with type 1 diabetes from the age of 8 but worked non-stop for over 60 years. He was a DJ, voiced superheroes like Space Ghost, and unexpectedly appeared on television with nonsensical lines, creating new words and acting as if he were not human. His polished exterior hid a harsh life. He struggled with health issues and starred in a children's show that failed miserably because it was too bizarre for kids. Nonetheless, he had a lasting marriage of nearly 60 years to his wife Arleta, a rarity in Hollywood. Gary Owens passed away on February 12, 2015, at the age of 80 from complications related to diabetes, a disease that had accompanied him since childhood. But the most shocking part, he had once declared he would never stop until the microphone turned off, and he lived up to that promise. Anne Worley as regular performer. Anne Worley, born on September 6, 1937, is a renowned American comedian. She joined Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In 1967 at the age of 30, where she became a regular performer, known for her loud, distinctive laugh and eccentric, boisterous acting style. With a voice so loud that as a child she had to lip-sync hymns to avoid drowning out others, Worley seemed born to stand out. She entered the entertainment world after her parents' divorce and immediately garnered attention at the Greenwich Village nightclub, where Merv Griffin discovered her. This led to a meteoric rise, from Broadway to television, cartoons, and even Disney. However, behind the laughter, she was a woman without children who had divorced and lived quietly with animals as her companions. She spent over 40 years of her life doing charity work for abandoned pets and served as the president of Actors and Others for Animals since 2007. As of 2025, Anne Worley, now 88, is still alive but has retired from the stage. Once a comedic icon on television, she now lives quietly, never remarried, without children, leaving behind a legacy of laughter and her signature scream that once stunned the entire nation. Henry Gibson as the parson. Henry Gibson, born James Bateman on September 21, 1935, was one of the unique and irreplaceable faces of the classic comedy show Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In. He joined the cast at the age of 32, playing the parson, a priest with a dark sense of humor, frequently reciting satirical poems in segments that made the audience both laugh and feel uneasy. Few know that before becoming famous for this role, Gibson was a U.S. Air Force intelligence officer stationed in France. He entered the entertainment industry with a routine as a fake Southern poet, adopting the stage name Henry Gibson as a pun on the playwright Henrik Ibsen. This cleverness became his trademark, taking him to the heights of Laugh-In and later helping him shine in quirky roles like the fascist leader in the Blues Brothers and the haunting country music star in Nashville, a role that earned him critical acclaim. But behind the fame was a series of sad events. His wife Lois passed away in 2007 after more than 40 years of marriage, leaving Henry alone with their 3 children. 2 years later, he was diagnosed with cancer and passed away quietly on September 14, 2009, just 1 week before his 74th birthday. Barbara Sharma as regular performer. Barbara Sharma, born on September 14, 1938, in Dallas, Texas, joined Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In at the age of 32, becoming one of the main actresses from 1970 to 1972. But behind the lively performances was a life full of surprises and hardships. Barbara began professional dancing at the age of 9 and quickly became a stage sensation in Cuba as a child prodigy. At the age of 8, she was invited by 20th Century Fox to sign a film contract, but her father, a strict salesman, refused, not wanting to leave Texas. Forbidden from watching TV at home, Barbara became captivated by radio and the spotlight. At 14, she left home for New York, living with relatives to study performing arts. At 17, she married drummer Al Stewart and gave birth to her first daughter, a significant shift while her dance career was on the rise. Throughout the 1960s, she energized Broadway with hit shows like Sweet Charity and Hallelujah, Baby, before catching the eye of producer George Schlatter, who brought her to Laugh-In, where she shined alongside Ruth Buzzy and Anne Worley. However, her television career couldn't overshadow a painful truth. Barbara endured years of single motherhood after her marriage fell apart. Though she never publicly spoke about her struggles, rumors swirled about her battles with depression and isolation after the spotlight faded. From a Cuban child star to supporting roles in shows like Frasier and Becker, her life has been a series of ups and downs. At times a screen icon, other times just a fleeting name in Folgers or Glass Plus commercials. At 87, Barbara Sharma lives quietly, carrying the story of a small dancer who once made Havana stand up and cheer, then disappeared from the spotlight to live a life no one could have imagined. Judy Carne as Sock It to Me Girl. Judy Carne, born on April 27, 1939, is best remembered for her iconic catchphrase, "Sock it to me," on the television show Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In from 1968 to 1973. With her role as the Sock It to Me girl, Carne became an emblem of the show, delivering humorous and unexpected sketches that made a lasting impression. She joined the show at just 28 years old, portraying a lively, fun-loving character that made it impossible for the audience to forget her. However, behind the laughter was a life full of turmoil. Carne went through 2 failed marriages, first to Burt Reynolds and then to producer Robert Bergman. Her marriage to Reynolds, which was highly publicized and adored by fans, ended bitterly, and they did not have children. She also faced significant personal struggles, including an arrest for heroin possession, a car accident that left her with a broken neck, and time spent in jail. These challenges were openly discussed in her memoir, Laughing on the Outside, Crying on the Inside, where she didn't shy away from sharing the hardships she faced, including her marriage to Reynolds. Carne continued to struggle with drugs and was arrested in 1986 for drug possession. Despite these setbacks, she managed to continue her career and later moved quietly to the UK in the 1980s, away from the limelight. Judy Carne passed away on September 3, 2015, from pneumonia, leaving behind an impressive legacy in entertainment, but also a life marked by hardship and loss. Dave Madden as regular performer. David Joseph Madden, born December 17, 1931, in Sarnia, Ontario, Canada, was an American actor best known for playing Reuben Kincaid, the manager in The Partridge Family, 1970 to 1974. Madden's comedic charm won over audiences, especially on Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In, where he was a staple from 1968 to 1973. However, behind his successful career was a life of ups and downs. Madden endured difficult relationships, including a brief marriage to Nana Arnold in 1975, which ended in divorce in 1985. He later found happiness again with his former partner, Sandy Dempsey, in 1998. Madden also faced health challenges, including a battle with myelodysplastic syndrome and long-term health issues. Despite these struggles, Madden maintained close friendships with his Partridge Family co-stars and was an avid photographer, often capturing moments with colleagues. His career included various roles in television, voice acting for films and commercials, and writing his memoir, Reuben, on Rye. The Memoirs of Dave Madden. Madden passed away on January 16, 2014 in Jacksonville, Florida, at the age of 82, leaving behind a beloved legacy in entertainment. Which actor impressed you the most? Leave a comment below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to get more updates. Thank you, and see you next time. Goodbye.